Her husband suddenly died. What should she do? All right, so I just got an email from the wife of a client that I had worked with a couple years ago, and she told me her husband died suddenly, sad, and 61 years old was he, and she's 55, something like that, and obviously anonymous here, and she's just devastated. She wasn't expecting it. I said, what happened? And he didn't feel good, went to the ER, and that was it. That's all she wrote. Horrible. And man, anyway, the point, it happens, dude. People die all the time. It happens. But that doesn't change your perspective if that's your wife or your husband or something like that. Anyway, so we're going to set up a meeting to go over what her next steps are. And I'm going to share with you some of the next steps. If you haven't updated your estate docs yet, after all the videos I've done, what was going on with you, man? You can go to LegalZoom.com. It's like $249 for an estate planning bundle. I don't get paid from them. I've been recommending LegalZoom.com for 15 years. Ideally, if you have a complex estate, and complex just means you got kids and little kids, you need guardian, financial representatives. You get a real life lawyer to draw that up for you, but at the minimum, there's no excuse not to go to LegalZoom.com. You might have a legal counsel through your job, through your benefits program, through work or something like that. It's unacceptable not to have this done. I can't stress this enough. Oh, it drives me crazy. Anyway, I feel bad for this lady. And I can't remember if she got young. I don't recall if she got kids or not. I just can't remember. But, she's in her mid-50s. All right, so what we need to do is, what's the next step? All right, she's a widow. All right, so the first thing we got to do is, if it's like me and Charlotte, let's just say I died. So we got Josh and we got Charlotte, all right? So all the money, a lot of times, or the bulk of it will be in the man's name. That's just a fact. Look, I don't have time for your racism. I don't care. Look, just get out of here I don't care. We got real stuff to worry about other than your freaking fragile need to be offended by stupidity. So the bulk of most married couples' retirement accounts is mostly in the husband's name. Not all the time. I deal with people all the time. The woman has more. But generally speaking, this is true. All right. And it doesn't matter, frankly, because if this is the woman died first and the man was left, it's the same thing as can be applicable here. All right. The drawback is if we transfer this IRA to Charlotte, and Charlotte is under the age of 59 and a half, she will have a 10% penalty when she pulls money out, all right? Because she put the IRA in her own name. We don't do that if she's under the age of 59 and a half. I cannot stress this enough. We keep it here. We keep it there. We do not transfer it in this case because a woman is under the age of 59 and a half. We keep it here so that way we have access to it without 10% penalty. Because one of the exceptions to the 10% penalty is what? Death. Josh has died. He's gone. He's got all the money in his IRA. She is under the age of 59 and a half. Charlotte is. If Charlotte transfers this money to her own name, she then loses one of the exceptions of the 59 and a half rule because she isn't dead. Charlotte is alive. She's still living. All right? And she's sad, whatever that is. Blink. So we do not want to transfer my IRA to her because she has access to my IRA without the 10% penalty as long as it stays in my name. Can't stress this enough. So another thing too is, well, she's the beneficiary, is she not? Have you actually looked at your beneficiary designations? Are they up to snuff? Are they up to date? What if you named a trust as a beneficiary? How does that work? Do you know? Actually, I don't know. I don't know how it works if you name a trust as a beneficiary. Let's say I name a trust. I was just talking to these people yesterday. I said, man, look, I can't tell you legal consequence, but I said, you need to talk to your attorney to see if you should name your trust as your beneficiary. I don't like that, but I'm not an attorney, so I can't tell you what to do. But man, I'd have serious doubts on that. So what if this is named to a trust as a beneficiary? Does a death still applicable? I don't know the answer to that. It might be yes. I don't know. It's because, frankly, it's no longer in Josh's name. The trust owns the IRA at this stage. All right, so how does that work when it comes to Charlotte's need to get money from it because she's under the age of 59 and a half? I have no clue. I'm sure we can find out quickly. That'd be something you'd want to do. But do you have any idea? You named your trust as your beneficiary. So on top of that, the trust, the beneficiaries are going to be what? Charlotte and maybe the kids too. And the kids don't have to be minors here. They could be adults. How does that shake out in terms of beneficiaries on income? Is it 25% to each beneficiary? Is it based on their life expectancy in terms of the 10 years and all this? I mean, there's all kinds of, because remember, IRAs for non-spouse beneficiaries need to be dumped within 10 years. So the trust is a non-spouse beneficiary. Now the spouse could be a beneficiary of the trust, but what if there's other beneficiaries on the trust? I got 4 kids. What if it's Charlotte's a beneficiary and the other 4 kids are beneficiaries as well? Does the IRA then have to be exhausted within 10 years? I don't know the answer to these questions, but these are questions to think about because you're sitting there thinking, it sounds good in theory, but again, if it's a non-spouse beneficiary, now Charlotte is a spousal beneficiary of me. Is she a spousal beneficiary of a trust? I don't know. What if she's a spousal beneficiary at 20% and my other kids are non-spousal beneficiaries at 20% each? Does that mean 80% of the trust has to be exhausted and the 20% goes to Charlotte? Is that enough for Charlotte to live on? You see, there's lots of issues here on beneficiary designations. Now, in this case, I died, so we don't need to worry about incapacity, but what if I had a stroke instead? And Charlotte needed money from my account. Well, we know disability is a exception to the 10% rule as well. So now I'm over the age of 59 and a half, but no, let's say I'm under the age of 59 and a half and I have a stroke and I don't know who I am. All right, that would be a disability which would be exempt from the 10% penalty for sure. But how does Charlotte get access to that money? Can she just go to Schwab? Hey, I'm Charlotte, I'm the husband, I'm the wife, give me money? No. So what I did is after this case with this woman, I went back to look at my Schwab account, and sure enough, I did not have a third-party authorization for Charlotte. I couldn't believe it. I said, oh, I thought I did. I have a durable power of attorney. Is Schwab obligated to accept a durable power of attorney? Not necessarily. They're not obligated to accept a third-party document, to release funds to somebody else. So I went on my Schwab account, I updated my third-party authorization to name Charlotte my agent, essentially. It's similar to a durable power of attorney. So she has access to my money to move funds, to transfer funds, to take money out, to make trades, the whole thing. So what I had to do for Schwab is I had to name her. I just put her name, blump, and then they sent her a documentation to validate that she was who she was, and now she's my third-party authorization. Now, that's just on assets. For when I talk to this woman, we're going to talk a lot about Social Security, all right? Because again, she can't, well, I didn't say again, but she can't have access to his Social Security yet because she's under the age of 60. So as a widow, unless she has young kids, and I just can't recall if she has young kids, I don't recall. But as a widow, she doesn't have any access to Social Security for a widow's benefit, or a survivor benefit, I should say, until she's 60. So we are in an issue here where we're 55 years old and we have liquidity needs. Let's just say there's no life insurance. How does she pay the bills? I mean, you got to think this, my friends. You got to think this before this happens. How do you pay the bills if you die and your wife is left without life insurance and she hasn't access to Social Security because she's not 60 yet? That's the earliest age you can file for a survivor benefit. And she has an IRA that she unfortunately put in her own name. How does she have access to the money? See, we got to think this stuff through. It's a big deal, man. Don't make that IRA mistake, please, for the love of all that is good. It's bad news. Now, there's a million other things we're going to talk about here too. Cash flows, can she get step-up basis on half the property? Is there non-IRA assets that she could take? All these things, but this is the big one, and you better be prepared because these things happen all the time. All right, love your thoughts as always. If you like what we do here, give me a thumbs up on the channel, subscribe down below, and we're going live on Locals tomorrow night. Every Wednesday and Saturday we go live on Locals, so join my Locals channel in the Doobie Dook. We'll see ya.